Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing a review for the newest movie in the Godzilla franchise, Godzilla 2014, or 2014 version. This movie is like a semi-reboot, semi-sequel to, it's like a semi-reboot to the original Godzilla movie that came out in the 1940s, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 1930s, and it's kind of a semi-sequel to the horrible and horrendous 1998 Godzilla movie, I believe it is, 98, 99, somewhere around there. So yeah, this movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Watanabe, Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Olsen, Carson Bold, Sally Hawkins, um, Julia Binoche, I believe is how you say your name, David Strathairn, and Richard T. Jones. So yeah, before I go any further, this will contain spoilers. So for those who haven't seen the movie for whatever reason, I recommend you guys check it out. Check out the 2014 version, and then come back here to watch this review. So yeah, 10-second spoiler warning. As usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to see the movie and are still watching this video for whatever reason, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that never gave you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So Godzilla, the 2014 version, the reboot, semi-sequel version, what I think of it, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, Godzilla basically revolves around the re-emergence or rediscovery of Godzilla. And what happens is you have these other creatures, which I believe are called like the mutos or mulattoes, or something like that. And basically, these two species of monsters rise up from the undergrounds of the earth, more or less, to conquer the world. Not really conquer the world, but the mulattoes or mutos. So I don't know how to say the names correctly, but basically they just want to lay eggs, which will destroy the world. Godzilla's like the protector of Earth, more or less, and he's trying to get the mulattoes or mutos or whatever they're called, to not trying to stop them before they actually destroy the Earth. Um, you also have some interpersonal stuff happening in there, which I'll get to later, from some of the cast. And yeah, this movie would actually surprise me a bit. I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't think it was gonna be this good. I watched this in IMAX 3D, so yeah, and I think it's one of two or three movies I've ever watched in that type of definition, I guess. The IMAX 3D, because I've watched movies in IMAX, I've watched movies in 3D, but this is one of the few movies I've ever watched in IMAX 3D. The only other one I could think of is Harry Potter and Half Blood Prince, I want to say, or Sorcerer, not yeah, Half Blood Prince. I'm pretty sure it is. That I watched in IMAX 3D. I think that's the only other one. Um, so yeah, I do want to say that this is one of my best experiences, if not the best experience I've ever had in a movie. It's just amazing, in my opinion. Um, the acting is decent for the most part, and the writing is decent. There are a few issues every here and there with both the acting and the writing. I do have to say that. But the actors do bring out, when they're supposed to, like, emotional scenes, they do bring out the emotion, which makes it believable, which I do like. The writing, as I said, is decent. It is brilliant when it's supposed to be, so that's good. It is, for the first hour, it is a bit more build up, to what's gonna happen in the second hour, which I do like. So it is kind of a build up. Um, yeah, so that is good. Um, the special effects were decent. I do think that the CGI for Godzilla and the Mutos, and some other stuff could have been improved. I do want to say that, but for the most part, the CGI was decent. and any of the special effects were also pretty decent for the most part. The CGI could have been improved, but whatever. Um, so yeah, there are a few moments in the movies that stood out in my opinion. That stood out above the rest. That either because they were like high thriller, high tension, or whatever the case may be, which I do like. There's this one scene in particular which I want to point out, which I think is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, where this little boy, Asian boy, gets separated from his parents. Um, so Ford Brody, Ford Brody, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's on the Metro Rail, and then the Mutos and Godzilla are fighting, and this is in Hawaii. So yeah, so the two are fighting, and they kind of derail the train. Um, and the little Asian boy, he got separated from his parents because he went on the train he wasn't supposed to, basically, for whatever reason. So Ford Brody basically rescues his life, and it's a very touching moment, and I really do like it. And I think it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, if not my favorite. I mean, there were a few other scenes I did like, such as the ending was pretty. The final Godzilla roar, that was amazing. But the ending, there is something left to be desired. I mean, the ending kind of ends kind of abruptly. It's like it's basically like the military is trying to investigate what happened to Godzilla. Is he dead or is he alive? He rises from the ashes. Um, he goes up onto the sea, the shore. He gives one final roar. He goes into the sea, goes underneath the sea, and it just ends. I think it did kind of end abruptly. I didn't expect it to end that way. I do think the ending did have something left to be desired, in my opinion. So yeah, the ending. I really don't like the ending much because it does have something left to be desired. Maybe I think they could have added an extra 5 minutes just to make it seem good, or maybe switch out some of the scenes. Still have that final scene with Godzilla, but then have another scene that was before it last instead of it. So they could have done that. Um, yeah. I mean, this is overall a very good movie in my opinion. Great movie. One of the best experiences I've ever had in a movie theater, in my opinion. I do it. I'm pretty sure when the Oscars come around next year, um, this will be nominated for best sound mixing or something like that, or best sound mixing, something like that. I do believe it could get a nomination for that because the sound mixing here is pretty good. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much I have everything I have to go over. You know, the characters were pretty likable for the most part. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I find funny is that Aaron Taylor Johnson and Emily Olsen, I mean Elizabeth Olsen, play husband and wife in this movie, and then the next movie we see them in is Avengers 2, and they each play Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and that's sister and brother siblings. So kind of awkward in that note, but nothing that's really gonna affect it much. Well, not in this movie, maybe Avengers Age of Ultron, but that's a whole different story for next year. Um, or the trailers, whatever happens. So yeah, I mean overall this was a pretty great movie. You know, I mean, I do recommend you go out and see it. It's one of those movies that you should rush out to see it if you like Godzilla, if you like monster movies, if you like horror, not really horror, but suspense movies, then yes, it is a movie you should go out and see. Um, so yeah, I mean that's basically I'm trying to make sure I went over everything just to make sure I have everything. Also, I'm kind of having a brain fart. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure I went over everything. CGI could have been improved. Um, Acting and writing could have been improved a bit, but overall, it's still pretty great. Um, there was this one scene though I really didn't like. That was when Godzilla and the mulattoes or mutos, whatever, were fighting, and the door basically closes on them. I'm like, come on, I want to see more. That was kind of upsetting. That one scene does deduct points, but overall the fight scene between the Mutos and the Godzilla was pretty amazing. There's this one point where Godzilla was turning blue. I'm like, why is he turning blue? Because I forgot about Godzilla's powers, and then he does his hyper beam or flamethrower, whatever. His hyper beam. I want to say, I don't know what to call it. Fire breath, ice beam. I don't know. Like, oh, that's pretty cool because I didn't realize. I'm like, why are they? What are they doing now? And then they do the hyper beam thing, and that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, yeah, now I remember. That's pretty cool. Um. So yeah. Um. So yeah, I mean that's really basically it for all I have to say. The action scenes were pretty great. Could have been better if the CGI was on par. But overall, it was still a pretty great movie. One of the best experiences I've ever had in a movie theater. And what can I say? I love this movie. It really surprised me. It shocked me of how much I loved it. I thought it was gonna be a decent movie. Turned out being a fantastic movie, a great movie. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. Decent. Sorry, I I'd give this an 8.25 out of 10. I mean, it does have some issues with CGI predominantly for me, um, among other stuff. But overall, it's a great movie. I do recommend you guys check it out, especially if you're a fan of Godzilla or monster movies. If you loved Cloverfield, you're gonna love this. Many people have said if you love Pacific Rim, you're gonna like this. I wouldn't compare this to Pacific Rim, but I think that's just me because I personally didn't like Pacific Rim. So I don't know if that's just me. But I mean, I guess I see where some people would want to go with that comparison. But in my opinion, I wouldn't compare to Pacific Rim. But that's a whole other discussion topic. So yeah, um, yeah. Overall, a great movie. 8.25 out of 10 is what I'd give this. And yeah, remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. So definitely stay tuned for those. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on Godzilla. Did you like this version of Godzilla, the 2014 version? And is there any other version you like? Because I know there's at least 30 to 50 different films based off on Godzilla. So do you have any other favorite Godzilla films? Comment down below on your thoughts. And besides that, like this video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.